Standing in front of a pipe, looking closely at the Terracotta Army, I can feel how proud Qin Shi Huang was when he conquered all of the other warring states and make it a unified China. The Terracotta Army was built for him, Yingzhen being his real name. He is the first emperor in China, and he established the first great Chinese empire, Qing Dynasty.
They are such delicate artifacts. This place looks more like a palace than a tomb.
Yeah, I have the same feeling. The place is too big, and there are just too many of them. 4 pipes containing the Terracotta Army have already been excavated. The first pipe is the largest, 216 meters long and 62 meters wide, covering an area of 13,260 square meters. The second pipe is 124 meters long and 98 meters wide, covering an area of 6,000 square meters. The third pipe covers an area of 520 square meters. The 3 pipes together sum up to cover a total area of 19,780 square meters.
Yeah, that's a huge area, about the size of 3 standard football fields.
Oh, by the way, the fourth pipe is empty without figures, only backfilled clean. It was not built, possibly due to the peasant uprising at the end of the Qing dynasty, among other reasons.
Also, human-shaped sculpture neatly arranged there, just like an army.
And they are all life-size. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, indeed. Qin Shi Huang was also a great believer in the military. He relied on the force to unify China and wanted to collect all kinds of weapons. So after his death, he wanted to take his army with him to protect his tomb. On the other hand, to promote his military prestige, to show his achievements during his life, hoping that his rule would continue after his death as on earth, and built the Terracotta Army as his guards after his death. There is also lots of to say about the structure of the tomb. Take Pipe 1 as an example. It has 11 corridors separated by walls. Most of the corridors are more than 3 meters wide and are paved with small bricks, with a wooden ceiling supported by a large beam and posts. This design was also used for the tombs of nobles and may actually resemble palace hallways. The wooden ceilings were covered with reed mat and layer of clay for waterproofing. They are then molded with more soil, rising them about 2 to 3 meters above the surrounding ground level when complete.
Most of the terracotta warriors and horses are made by the method of pottery firing, first using a pottery mold to make the initial tear, and then covering a layer of fine clay for processing and carving, and finally adding colors. The fire is even, the color is pure, and the hardness is very high. In each process, there's a different vision of labor and a strict working system. These terracotta sculptures are even prettier when they were just made. Right now, all the colors are gone, and we can only see the brown color of the clay and soil. But they initially all had bright and harmonious colors. During the excavation, it was found that some of the terracotta figures still partially retained their bright colors when they were first unearthed. But after they were unearthed, the colors were instantly extinguished in less than 10 seconds due to oxidation and turning to white ash. What can be seen now is only the residual traces of the painting. Thanks to the modern advanced technology, scientists now are able to detect residual color elements on the sculptures and recreate the original sculptures with a variety of colors.
Additionally, each terracotta figure has a different dress code and even expressions, which means that they represent different identities, including soldiers and military officials. And military officials have lower, middle, and higher ranks. General soldiers don't wear crowns, while military officials wear it. And the crowns of the ordinary military officials are different from those of generals, and even the armor is also different.
Here is the middle ranking officer. Look at his flat cap, square-toed shoes, and ornate carves around the neck possibly imply his commissioned rank. From the position of his hands and arms, it is clear that this figure once held weapons that had long since decayed.
And the high-ranking officer or general, the highest-ranking figure in the TerraCotta warriors. So far, 9 high-ranking officers has been found from the pit. 2 of them are in battle robes and the other 7 wear armors. The height, clothing, and headgear of the officer all indicate his high rank.
This carrot in particular is my favorite. It is 3.17 meters and weighs 1,241 kilograms, including the 4 horses. It was named Comfortable Carrot based on the posture of the carrotee. The carrotee is kneeling on the front chamber with a humble facial expression. The comfortable carrot's carriage is designed to serve its host. The carriage has windows on 3 sides and a door on the back. The windows are still easily opened and closed today. On a hot day, these windows could be opened so that the emperor could cool off, while on the cold day, they could be closed to allow the emperor to keep warm.
Look at this kneeling charioteer, 51 centimeters in height, who wears a cap, a long robe, and carries a long sword at his waist. He also has smile and respectful expression on his face. In kneeling position, he stretches his hand forward to drive carefully with the reins in his hands.
There are 4 ceramic horses in front of each chariot. The size of the ceramic horses is similar to that of real horses, with a length of about 2.1 meters and a height of 1.72 meters. The shape of the 4 horses is basically the same. All cut manner and tied tail, raise the neck and head, open mouth for hissing. The 2 serving horses in the middle have their ears shrugged in front, looking forward. The necks of the horse on both sides are slightly twisted to the outside, leaping forward, unusually steep. These horses are typically smaller, short-necked, round head, belonging to the Hequ around the present-day Tao River in Gansu Province, China. Horse species.
All the long-shaft weapons unearthed when installed on bi, which means shaft in English, made of wood or bamboo, which has already decayed when excavated. Judging from the 32 trees of remains, bi is usually 3 to 3.5 meters long, painted with a brown lacquer and decorated vermilion stripes.
The bronze arrowheads made up the largest number of weapons unearthed from the terracotta pits at present. Bronze arrowheads can be divided into big shape and small shape. The weight and shooting distance of the big ones was several times heavier and farther than the common one. However, there were more arrowheads of the small shape, which had the 3' shape, topped with a circular or 3' shaped shaft. The 3' arrowheads unearthed from these 3 pipes had a streamlined shape, which met little resistance after being shot out. Their flight speed was fast and their trajectory was stable, giving them a high accuracy rate.
The TerraCotta Army, a United Nations World Heritage Site, has been visited by more than 200 foreign heads of state and government, and is a golden selling card of China's glorious ancient civilization. There are more than 3,500 people visit the site every day. We only tell a little bit about it in this video. If you have the opportunity, please go and visit it by yourself.